Hey everybody, on this episode of Box Office Breakdown, we're going to find out why Zombieland Double Tap couldn't take down the magnificent Maleficent. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey everybody, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. That was a little bit gibbered up there at the top. I was doing my auctioning voice right there.
Oh, yeah.
This is the show that looks back at the box office that was, and then we...
Parag. Nas. Kate.
About the box office that lie ahead. I'm Frank Moran.
What's up? Carrie Lane here.
I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez.
And you're saying, my gosh, these guys look good and they sound even better. Who is responsible for that? Well, let me tell you, it is Bree in the booth.
Hey, everybody.
As always, folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8, or 9, or 10. And as always, the chat is up and running.
Yes,
but
they
Carrie,
are.
If they're watching after we stream live, what can they do?
Yes, Frank. You all can comment down below because we know you do. Thank you, everybody, for your comments, regardless of what you write. It's okay. We still love you.
Folks, we're going to be breaking down this weekend's box office. We'll also be talking about Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Zombieland Double Tap, and a variety of other great things. Especially, we're all going to give us our exactly 5 favorite horror films.
Or like 17.
But 5, horror films that we would recommend. No particular order, but we want to share our love of horror with you to see what you think, as well as see if our minds are all alike, or we're all just, like snowflakes. We're all like snowflakes. We're all just a little different and all unique in our tastes.
Aww.
I like that's beautiful.
There you go. But folks, as I said, we're going to start with this week's top 5. And coming in at number 1 was the film that some of us didn't think was going to do it. That is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Came in with $36 million. A little underperforming, I think, than what they were hoping for. But still was enough to take the weekend.
Yeah.
And did either of you see the film?
No, I wanted to. I saw Zombieland, though, and I was going to see Maleficent and then ran out of time.
And Amy had no interest.
But I do want to see it.
Yeah. I don't watch movies.
Never.
That's
I
right.
don't like to. No, I
That's
wanted
sarcasm.
to. I wanted to, but you know what? I haven't even seen the first one.
Okay.
So I figured I would need to see the first one
You don't
before
need to.
seeing. I don't.
I don't know. I haven't seen the second one, but the first one's really bad.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It is not.
All right.
Well, I've not seen the first one. I saw the second one, though.
Oh, were you lost?
I was like, I kept on asking everybody, what is going on?
Who is Maleficent? What?
What
I've
is-
never heard of her.
She's got wings? What is this all about? Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I felt like there needed to be another Maleficent movie. I mean, clearly, some people thought so because it won the box office, so there
I
is
actually
clearly a fan
heard
base.
from some people that didn't like the first one, like myself, but that they actually enjoyed the second one better than the first one because they didn't like the first one, but they actually enjoyed the second one. So
No, all
I don't
right.
know.
So maybe if you compare the two, then the second one wins. But if you didn't see the first one, then you're like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always nice to see Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, and Angelina Jolie still can do action. Like, she's fantastic at that. Looking forward to seeing her in Marvel's Eternals. I think that'll be cool. But there was some of the computer graphics in there were interesting with the 3 fairies. The way that they are depicted, they look so awkward to me. So
How are they like little?
they're tiny, but like their faces.
Is-
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it
Like,
just doesn't look
something's
good.
just off.
You
Yeah.
can kind of tell who the humans that they're supposed to be, but the way they decide to present them in their fairy form, it just looks awkward.
I'm gonna make
least
people angry when I say this, but like Will Smith as the genie, because that threw me off. Was it like that, or was it better?
No, it was no, it was worse than the genie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I feel like the genie. I mean, it's still, still like Will Smith, but with blue. So I was able to make that leap to it. But this one it was just weird, the depictions of them. So, but having not seen the first film, I'm sure if I'd seen the first one, I'd probably be used to the look of that.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, God, this is really weird looking. Why are they doing it like this?
How was Elle Fanning?
Fine. Yeah. I mean, she did. I mean, I don't know. She doesn't. She just runs around a lot, and then is always in caught, and then
Oh.
has to have that emotional moment. I don't know. She was fine for that sort of performance, but it wasn't like, holy cow, Elle Fanning, fantastic. So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it wasn't my cup of tea, but maybe It was somebody else's.
We had another host here review it too. What is that on AfterBuzz or is that on Popcorn Talk?
Or which one? Sorry.
I'm like
Maleficent,
Yes.
Mistress of Evil.
They did a review on, I believe they put it on Popcorn Talk.
okay. So we have some other people who loved it.
Book Circle Online. That's what they did it.
No.
Yeah? No? Okay.
Stephanie. There we go. Stephanie Chabray.
Oh, fantastic.
Right? It was
Sabra.
Stephanie? Chabra. There we go.
Sabra.
Got it.
What's up, brah?
Sabra. I love her last name.
Coming in number 2 is Joker from Warner Brothers, another $29.2 million. Amy finally took time out of her time to see it.
No.
So tell us all about
Still
it, Amy.
hanging on strong. Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what'd you think, Amy?
I'm glad that people are happy that they went to go see it. And I'm glad that people are expressing their opinions about this movie. Yeah.
There you
Good
go.
for them.
All right.
I'm happy. 29. That's great. This is its third week?
Yeah.
Fourth? Third week? That's pretty
Week
good.
3. Week 3.
Not bad.
Yeah.
As we are closing this month out, I'm excited for the movies that will be coming out next month. I'm very thrilled.
Beautifully done.
Thank
Just
you.
like that little type.
Mwah.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
Thanks.
Coming in number 3 was our other new film this week, Zombieland Double Tap from Sony. Made $26.7 million. Kari, you saw it.
I did.
And what
I
did you
really
think?
liked it a lot. You do not have to rewatch the first one, and I would almost argue you don't even have to see the first one. There's maybe one joke bit that references it. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be lost. So in case like your friends haven't seen it, I have a few friends that are like, it's a sequel? It's like, yes. It goes very well after the first one. It's extremely comedic. There were some parts that I'm glad I didn't see trailers because it was a surprise and very funny. There's some additional characters that are hilarious. Like, oh my gosh, that girl was so
Now, after seeing Zombieland,
Madison,
though,
I
yes,
loved Madison.
Madison.
It was so good.
Zoe Deutsch?
Sure.
I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on her
Yeah.
name.
But after seeing the first film, did that film leave you like
Do I
saying
need
that-
a sequel?
Yeah.
It might not be needed, but I thought it was a good companion film. Like, it goes well together. Though there are some things that they bring back, like, the rules in a way, which was nice, like how we liked it before, kind of, because that was so fun in the first one. But it's a different kind of vibe that, like, because I thought that after, like, which one's better, the first or the second? It's like, no, they're kind of different tones, because the first one is, like, the introduction of this style of being funny and, like, here's the rules. So the second one still had some of that, but then took some other directions and it's different dynamics with the group and everything. But yeah, I thought they go well together.
Does it pick up like right after the first one?
No, it's 10 years later. They're like, it's been 10 years and blah, blah. Thanks for, they talk to you of like the audience, like, thanks for coming back. And which is nice because everybody's older.
Oh, I like that.
But there are some things that like, they kind of have one-offs, like how do they have electricity? I was like, wait, how do they have electricity? And like 2 scenes later, there's one line talking about it.
Yeah.
And there's some other zombie things that if you watch other zombie shows or movies, that this movie doesn't really address that in terms of like what happens if people get bit or like just what mentality you probably should have in that environment. They kind of go, this is fine. They kind of push that aside. But that's okay. Like that's their own world that they've made. So that's fine of itself.
I don't know. I felt like it was fine when I was watching it, but it's also just a very slight film where you're just like, all right.
Oh, I had so much fun watching it.
Yeah.
Though.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
Compared to the first one, how would
They're
you
both hilarious. They're both very funny.
But if you had to pick one.
They're different tones.
But if like you had
No.
to pick one.
I would say if you want to go see it and you haven't seen the first and you don't have time to watch the first, go ahead and watch the second.
Yeah.
And then you can watch the first later.
Yeah.
Or if your friends haven't seen it, be like, it's okay. Because they build the world at the beginning and go, by the way.
yeah, but by that same token, I would say if you watch the first one, you're fine. If you never see the second one,
Yeah.
you're not missing out on anything.
See, because I was going to watch Double Tap, so I rewatched the first one, and I was like, wow, this is cuter than I remember. Like it's sweet. Nothing like
wanted to.
zombies to make you be
Ran
like,
out of
"That's
time."
Sweet. But yeah, when it ended, I liked the way they ended it. The first one, because he says, well, this has been fun or whatever. Until next time. Something like that. Like he's signing off because it's, he's saying like the rules that he has. I'm like, well, you know, for future movies that if they really want to have a sequel or kind of like leave that open, they could end it like that. But again, it wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't like super pumped for a second one. But now I'm like, okay, well, cool. Double tap. You mentioned that as one of, I think it's like rule number 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Got it.
There's a post-credit scene and a post-credit scene. So stay
for the first one. You can skip the second one. Trust me.
Yeah, the second one's maybe only to know what it is, but yeah, it was kind of like, okay.
It's just.
But the first one.
First one's great. And my feeling is if you're going to put in a mid and a post, I'm all for that. If you're going to do that, you can put it in as many. You can put like, well, you can do like Hobbs and Shaw did, that Amy's favorite film of the year that she's seen.
We don't talk about all the other movies I do watch. Cool.
I mean, they put, I think, 4 in there, which is fine. You can put as many as you want, but let's all make sure that they're good. Because I feel like if you're going to take the time to put it in, then
That's true.
Yeah. And so I feel like for Zombieland Double Tap, first one's great. But then you stick around to the last one, and you're like,
I could have just left.
I could have just left, because it really is nothing. And you're just like, okay. If you're going to take the time to put it in your film, let's make it worth a while. Otherwise, you're just like, cool, thanks for making us sit here to see this slate thing at the end. But yes, I do agree with you, Kari. The mid-credits one is a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, there are some nice callbacks to the first film, presented in different ways.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, but I don't feel like it is... I don't feel like, oh my, thank goodness they made a Zombieland 2. I don't come away from like this.
But like, if you like the first, definitely go check it out.
Yes.
And if you want it's a fun zombie horror. Like everything's over the top, everything's crazy, which is why it's entertaining for that reason.
Yeah, but then again, I feel like the stakes are so small on this one, which is fine. And I mean, I feel like the horror element. Yeah,
no, it's definitely more the comedy with some horror.
Yeah. The horror
well,
element.
even the
I feel
opening, like the opening credits of the slow-mo and the violence is comedic.
Yeah. This is, if you're looking, as they say, for like a zombie film, if you're looking for a lot of quality kills, this is not going to be the film that you're going to be. Don't go out seeking for this.
The kill of the year.
Yeah, I mean, there are nice bits about that, but there's not like, man, yeah, it's like you're going to be seeing like Dawn of the Dead or something like that, where you're going to be seeing a lot of crazy mayhem. You're not going to see that.
Not quite.
No. Yeah. But I agree, Kari. If you like the first one, this is going to give you more of what you enjoyed. Mm-hmm. There you go. But don't worry, Amy. You can put this on your list of films that you're not going to see.
Well, I will try. But there's a lot of other things going on as well. So, I mean, Rocky Horror. Hey, I had to see that.
Yes, that was awesome.
You look so sick while you were watching that. You're so pale.
I know.
A little pale.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just a little face makeup, to try and liven me up a little.
Oh,
that was to try and help. I look so tired. It ended so late, guys. I was out
generally it's a
late.
midnight show, yes.
Yeah, I know, but wow. Wow. I didn't get home till like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
I went to a Halloween party, same thing. Yeah.
Oh,
We got back late.
I'm not cut out for this. I felt like a zombie.
Speaking of zombies, we do see them in the Addams Family film, coming in at number 4 here. Another $16 million to it. And then rounding out our top 5 is Gemini Man. The Will Smith double starring film made another $8.5 million.
Still clinging.
Still clinging?
Not that, but I watched some other horror movies.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I only watch horror movies in October.
Thanks, I do.
You do too.
Pretty much.
Only. And that means every other holiday is only those movies.
And so what films did you watch?
Yes, I watched As Above, So Below.
That's so good.
I did really enjoy that one. It is it's found footage style, and I do like the almost cheesy aspect from a filmmaker's perspective of you have someone documenting someone else, and then they go, and you have a camera on your headlight, and you have a camera, and you have a camera, and you have a camera. So look, we have 4 different cameras to cut from. And then as people die, you get less cameras. So I thought that was kind of an interesting storytelling device. They don't really get into the mythology about what's going on, but it's a good scary one. And if you are okay with found footage, because they don't do too much of like run shaky.
No.
A little bit, but
it feels claustrophobic.
Yes.
Which is great.
In a good way.
Really? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I remember watching the end of it. You're just like, oh, that was it?
It does kind of end that you're like, okay, but the meat of it was really good.
Yeah.
It is nice to watch at home because there is a death that goes by so quick. I rewound it because I was like, wait, what? What happened? Let's do that again. Also saw The Lodgers. It has all the right pieces to be a really good, scary, like, gothic horror film. but it just doesn't deliver. Like, it's pretty, cool acting, basic, good, like, the beginning, you're like, oh, this is really interesting, tell me more. And then, like, the end bit, you're like, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said
Pretty
okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, okay, that was funny.
All right.
And started Scream Queens, which is TV, but oh my gosh, have you guys watched Scream Queens?
I saw a couple
Late to the party,
episodes.
but satire funny. Like, that one's, it's definitely more the over the top, and they know they're being funny about it.
Oh, nice. Amy, have you seen anything?
Heck yeah, I've
Yes,
seen
you
a lot
watch
of
a lot
stuff.
of stuff.
We'll check that out next week.
No, okay,
Oh,
really
stop.
quickly, really quickly.
Go for it, Amy.
Well, geez, I've seen a lot this month. But Demons is kind of an Italian horror, but it's in English. You would think it'd be cool because it's different, but I feel like you guys should watch it just because I had to watch it, and it's really, really.
Why'd you
really,
have to watch that one?
Because it was on my list of stuff.
Okay.
I didn't know if there was some
No,
sort of like
it's
like
so I want to say 99% of the audio is dubbed in English, even though
can
they're
you find it
speaking in
not-
English.
dubbed.
No, like it's in English, and they dubbed it in English. Does that make sense at
Yeah,
all?
but can you find the original?
That is the original.
But they wouldn't have dubbed. Okay.
So no, it's like ADR.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I
But in
totally
English.
follow.
It's weird. Anyway, it's extremely gory and disgusting, but I think everyone should watch it. I didn't rate it very high because I was like, why? But it's kind of funny. One of those where you're like, what? And then I also just highly recommend Anna and the Apocalypse. I watched that a few days ago, maybe like a week ago. And it's a musical, but it's actually pretty fun. And it's about zombies. I went through a whole section of like zombie movies, and just follow me on Letterboxd because I've seen a lot.
Just follow. There you
It's
go.
a lot.
One other film I did see this week too, as well, was Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. How was that?
That was a disappointing film.
Darn.
Yeah, it's. I've not seen Red State. I did not see Yoga Hosers. Did not see Tusk. So it's been a while since I've seen a Kevin Smith film. The last one probably was Clerks 2, I think, which came out after Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Boy, not a great film. I felt like, boy, I really enjoyed Kevin Smith films, and then I feel like I need to go back and watch this to see if I still feel that same way, or is it me that's changed and Kevin Smith has kind of stayed the same? Because but I will say one thing I took away though is that you can see why Ben Affleck became the star that he did, kind of raising out of the Kevin Smith films, because he does show up in this film. And there's, Kevin Smith, he likes to write those monologues for people so they can have that really great scene where they're breaking down something to somebody else. And we see a scene where Shannon Elizabeth has a scene like that, and it is not good. Shannon Elizabeth does not do a good job with that.
Oh, no.
But then we see Ben Affleck towards the end of the film. He gets a scene like that, and man, he just nails it. He sells what Kevin Smith is writing, and you're like, yes, okay, cool, I get it. It just made me realize, like, yeah, Ben Affleck, you are a star, and I can see why you went like this after doing the Kevin Smith stuff. But the plot is pretty meh. The jokes are kind of I mean, he does have that fan base, so I guess if you're a Kevin Smith loyalist and you love everything that he does, then I guess you're gonna find stuff to love. But he even showed up at the screening, and he said, he goes, "Oh, this is about a father and daughter film, and if you are on either side of that relationship, you are gonna feel things in this movie." And so I was expecting something like, "Wow, we're gonna see something really dramatic or a really great emotional moment from Kevin Smith." And then I got through the film and I was like, where
Did I miss it?
Where was it? Where was it? I could see the scenes that he was attempting to go for, but I'm just like, yeah, it's very surface level. So,
Well, Emma Rayguns in the chat disagrees and says that the reboot was fantastic.
as I said, maybe my tastes have changed since it's been a while watching the Kevin Smith film. So I'm glad that you found something to enjoy out of it. I was bummed. I was disappointed. I was expecting to really enjoy this film, and I was bummed to walk away kind of feeling like, boy, this is just not good.
When did Clerks 2 come out? What year was that?
I want to say 2009.
So a decade.
Yeah.
Similar to
So?
Zombieland.
There you go.
10 years ago.
10 years is a long
Yes. So, but folks, Amy brought up, we were saying like, oh, I had to see this film when she was talking about demons. And she had no reason to do that other than just her love of films. But there are films that people have to see on this show, and that's because they have lost a box office bet. And this week, it was all about Zombieland 2, Double Tap. Amy's trying to play coy. There you go. Oh, me? What?
What?
This whole thing?
Hey, no, that's the wrong one.
Yes.
I'm good.
Yeah. No. Amy crushed it this week. So
Thank you.
there you go. She comes in with the win there for Zombieland at $37 million. She bet low. She won big.
I like that.
Bree's at number 2 at 38.7. Kari is number 3 at 40. And then I got the big goose egg at 41.
Well,
You know.
good thing we all saw it.
That's very true. Very true. For I thought people would be kind of more wanting to see a Zombieland 2 this time of year
too, but
than Maleficent. But
Maleficent, I wasn't terribly surprised that it took number 1.
yeah,
Maybe
Yes.
people just went to like Halloween parties or went to
That
see
too.
Rocky Horror or like did other stuff. Like
is
I
fair.
said, they should.
Yeah.
all right, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you said. Okay.
sort of. Not really.
Well, international numbers here, real quick, is Maleficent. There, it came on the low end of pre-weekend industry expectations with $117 million at the international box office, and counting its domestic, it came out to $153 million globally. So a little bit of a disappointment domestically for its release. But basically, they kind of saw that Japan, which they're kind of expecting it to do really well, it kind of got trumped on by the Joker. So the Joker really kind of held on in Japan, which is surprising there for Maleficent because that really did well for the first film there in Japan. But
But Joker wasn't there last time.
no, there was no Joker.
So,
That's right.
Yeah.
But speaking of Joker there, it added another $77.8 million there. So the offshore total is $490.3 for a global total of $737.5 million. So it is now headed towards the $900 million zone. And that's even before it's opened up in China.
Wow. Is
we'll
that
see.
the only place that's left to open?
I believe so. It is now the 4th highest grossing DC film overseas and the biggest DC pick in 17 markets, including Italy, Spain, Russia, Argentina, and Mexico. So it is resonating with audiences.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different kind of superhero movie.
Yeah. There you go. That's I thought it's also like, why was this film called The Joker? But that's all.
What? It's not the Joker. It's
It's
just
just
Oh,
called
it's just Joker.
Joker.
So yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
it- yeah. As we all sip the tea.
Yep. Okay.
like that Kermit.
Now, as for Gemini Man, there it bowed to number 2 in China there, and now it is basically got another offshore international total of $82.2 million. And Zombieland 2 Double Tap was new overseas this weekend with $5.3 million in 17 early markets. It is now 41% ahead of the original. So I don't know. I'll be curious if there will be a Zombieland 3 or if they're like I have no
now
interest
I'd
in a
be
Zombieland
like,
3.
no. Now I'd be like, no, you don't need to do another one.
Yeah.
Because then I'd almost want another 10 years. But then I would be like, how are y'all surviving in this world? Because then I think the more literal, practical sense of the zombie survival apocalypse situation of like, so wait, where are you guys getting your food? Because it's been 10 years, so pretty much everything perishable will be gone.
They're vegetarian.
So do you have a garden that you're able to maintain with
I mean,
the zombie
maybe they
horde
didn't
out there?
show that in the movie because they thought it would be too boring.
Yeah, there is. One thing that was interesting in the film is that they talked about zombie evolution,
Right.
where it's like
Which that was cool.
that was a cool idea, but I felt it never really fully explored, and it never really.
Well, that's like in the
substantial
vein
threat.
of Omega Man and I Am Legend. Because those zombies evolve too.
True, but it's like
Sort of vampires also, depending if you read the book.
but ultimately a very disposable threat.
Yeah.
So you're just like they kind of set the stakes for this, and then it doesn't really go anywhere. And you're just like, oh, okay, cool. So
It's dangerous.
It's the apex predator. Okay, sure. All right. So, folks, we're going to now do something that usually we do our box office rewind. There you go. About somebody that's going to be starring in a film coming out this weekend. But, these are we've covered a lot of these actors here in the 2 films that we have coming up. So I thought, why don't we do our top 5 horror films? Not in particular order, but just 5 horror films that if somebody were to ask us, we would recommend them to watch this Halloween season to really get a good scare.
Oh, wait. To get a good scare specifically? Or just...
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever you think. of
Okay,
horror
because
film.
I was like, wait, with my list, it's more just like not necessarily specific. Scare.
Doesn't
Okay,
have
cool.
to be a scare, but a thrill,
Okay.
a scare, a thrill, a nap, perhaps, if you choose a really bad one. If you're really tired, watch this boring Halloween movie.
Okay, right.
As you go to sleep and have nightmares.
Oh, and you know what? I mean, Amy easily came in with her specifically top 5 list. Specifically 5 films that she was excited to share with us. So we're gonna let her kick it off.
Do you want me to just say all of mine?
Go ahead, yeah.
At once?
Sure. Lay it on, so
Okay.
you're-
At one
at
time.
once.
I mean,
She's like, oh,
Take a dramatic pause.
Deep breath and brah. Yeah.
I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I came in with 17. And
Yep.
I've had a 17.
So to see the rest of her list, you'll have to go on her Twitter later.
Yeah. So I can narrow it down to 9.
Yeah, but that's not 5.
That's
though.
more than
1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh,
6,
man.
7, 8, 9.
So we'll just
How about-
read your
how
first
about
5.
8?
We're just going to
8?
read your first 5, and then
I can
we'll
do
go
8.
on. We'll just read your first 5.
I'll-
That's good.
Can I do it?
Yeah, but it's the top 5.
5.
I'm going to do 7. I'm going to say them really quickly, please.
All right.
I've literally made this list, I made it 4 hours ago, and I've yet to be able to narrow it down. Okay.
Really? So when you saw 5 in the email that I sent out, hey, just
I
pick
was
your
like,
5.
okay, let me just spitball all the ones that just
Yep.
come at the top of my head, and
Okay.
I came out with 17.
Okay. Fine.
So I'm going to say
All right.
8.
Beautiful.
You just said 7 a second
1,
ago.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll say 7.
Okay.
I took out one I didn't mean to. I'm going to say 8.
oh
Doesn't
boy.
matter.
All
I'm going
right.
to just do it quickly. Okay, here we go. Train to Busan is a Korean zombie movie. It's fantastic, full of heart. I think everyone should watch it. Do not be scared of the subtitles. They're easy and just watch it. Scream, because you can never go wrong with Scream. Halloween, that's iconic. Rosemary's Baby, because holy crap, the first time you watch it, it's insane. Get Out, because again, the first time you watch it, it's so trippy. Midsummer? Hello.
Yep, there you go.
Midsummer!
Yes! All right.
Wow.
Nicely
We
done.
got some silent opinions from the
Midsummer.
Wow.
I can
wow.
still do Hereditary and The Exorcist. Thank
Yes.
That was the best. That was the best.
you. Done.
All right.
I got all of
Yes, and absolutely in no particular order
Yes.
because I just grabbed these. So mine is a little bit more either underrated or you probably haven't heard about or you're like, oh yeah, that thing, and I forgot about it. And this one actually celebrated some online. It said 10 year, but I'm like, no, I think it's actually 12 years because it came out 2007. Trick or Treat, amazing horror anthology. Pontypool, it's a zombie movie, but a very different take on zombies. Canadian film.
Hey.
A Chinese ghost story. That one's a bit older and martial arts, ghosts and skeletons, and really cool. Tall, it's Thale. That one's a Norwegian, I think it's Norwegian, horror film, and that one's really kind of cool and creepy and like semi in the vein of a monster movie, but not exactly. And really fun, we get Zombie Sheep with Black Sheep. It's a New Zealand movie, and
Beautiful.
it's zombie sheep, and it's awesome. Like, that's a fun horror movie.
Oh, very
Has
nice.
some scary stuff in it.
All right. All right. I will go with, I'm gonna go with Alien.
Hey.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I'll put Alien. I'm gonna do Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter.
Okay.
Yes, young Corey Feldman, kicking some butt, picking up that machete, taking care of business. And I'm a sucker for the Friday the 13th franchise. There's something
Yes.
about that. So I'm gonna put
That's
4,
on my extended list.
and I'm gonna put 6 in there. Jason Lives.
Oh, so that's 3.
That's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
continue. It's fine.
Thanks. Yes.
Just keeping track.
There you go.
Shots fired almost.
That's right. I will put in. I'll put in Halloween. You got to go old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
Yeah.
that. And I guess I'll round it out. I'm gonna go really old school, and I'm gonna go Frankenstein versus the Wolfman.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
Yes.
I just saw the Wolfman for the first time, and Frankenstein, like the old,
Yeah.
like
The
Universal.
classics.
Yes.
Yes. And they're so good.
I'm
Yeah.
liking
So
a lot
good.
of people's lists in the chat too of favorites. It's like there's so many to choose from. Like we're just giving
Very true.
some favorite in the moment because that's the other thing too. You could think you could have a different favorite like next week, next year, whatever. So I'm loving these in the chat. We'll
Do I get mine?
Yes, absolutely.
Only
Go,
5.
Bree.
Only 5.
We can't mute your mic from here,
can't.
so
Okay, so I'm gonna go with The Birds,
yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
The Shining,
Yeah.
The Exorcist. I'm gonna put a fun one in there that's not necessarily scary, but it's one of my favorite like Halloween movies. So Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then my all-time favorite horror film is always going to be, for right now at least, the very first Nightmare on Elm Street.
I do like the way that was set up, though. My favorite film of all time, at least for now. At least for now.
I mean, I don't know what the future holds, Frank. I don't know.
All right, okay.
So for right now,
it can change.
since I've been a teenager, that has been my favorite horror film.
Okay.
Not movies, but I do highly recommend short stories. One is Yami Shibai. It's on YouTube or on Crunchyroll, and they're 4-minute horror stories. They're so good.
There's also a new series called 6-Second Horror Stories.
Yeah, see? Oh, man.
Or 2-sentence horror stories, sorry.
Yeah.
2-sentence horror stories that are really short, but they're really fun. They're on Netflix right now.
Nice.
So you get those are live action, yes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Yami Shibai is like this kind of animated puppet thing. You can watch my review of that, which I'll post about that.
Oh, nice.
Because I already posted my review, but I'll tell you where to find it later.
So, folks, so this is just a small smattering of our 5 films. 5.
You should also watch Sleepaway Camp and Little Monsters.
Wait, side note on that, too, because I'd say for horror, it's such a broad genre, too,
Yeah.
of favorite movies, because there's, like, if you want specifically different monsters.
So, yeah, there's monster, slasher, psychological, paranormal.
Yeah, it's
So
just
I
a
tried to
small
break
smattering.
those.
Just a smattering.
And even more than that, because then we had, where to go? Sarah in the chat said, question, does your favorite horror Halloween movie change more than your favorite general movie? Which I would say not change, but depends what type of horror movie someone's looking for.
Yeah. I mean, always Boo to Medea Halloween is...
Your number one.
Yeah,
Right?
always.
Oh my
Mwah.
goodness. Yeah.
That's Hall of
Available
Fame.
now on Amazon Prime, Frank, if you want to watch it.
Yes.
I saw it last night on there. I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
Great. Don't do that to yourself, Brie. You're better than that. You deserve better.
I made the choice not to.
Good. So
and
proud of you.
Straight edge vegan bell, sorry if I said that wrong, says, Brie, I wonder if we're the same age. My list would almost mirror.
I don't know what your age is.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Message later.
Very possible.
So, folks, speaking of our box office bet earlier, we do have 2 films that are going to be vying for this week's vote there in the chat. And that's going to be Black and Blue. That's with your pal Tyrese. So get excited. And Countdown, a new horror film with Jordan Calloway. Looks intriguing as well. So those are the 2 films that we'll be betting on. So start voting away in the chat about which one of those films you'd like us to do the bet on. But in the meantime, we'll do our top 5 for next week. So Black and Blue is going to be on 2,000 screens from Sony, and Countdown will be on 2,600 screens from STX Entertainment. Do you see either of those knocking down Maleficent?
So here's the thing. This weekend is when all the Halloween parties are happening.
All of them?
99% of them.
Okay, so
Because Halloween's midweek, so.
and so nobody wants to go see.
Well, you
There'll be
kind of have to
less.
figure it out. Yeah, because a lot of people go to the movies on Friday nights or Saturday nights. Some go during matinee. So with that being said, I feel like Maleficent, I mean, if it drops half, then that's 18. I feel like Countdown app might be right behind it. Or not app.
I don't feel
It's
I've even
Countdown.
heard about Countdown.
I've been intrigued by seeing the trailers for it.
I have not even
Yeah.
seen. I'm like, what movie is this?
It reminds.
Did you see Hustlers? You did.
I did.
Yes, because did you see?
Oh,
I saw
I
it
was
with
on the trailer
Hustlers
for
because
that.
that's an STX film, just like Hustlers. So that's where I first saw the
Yeah.
trailer.
Okay.
It reminds me of, like, it has that vibe of Happy Death Day.
That's
A little
intriguing.
bit.
I really liked Happy Death Day 1 and 2.
So I think it's a little easy watch, I
Yes.
would say. But yeah, so I would say that might be second. So close second.
Yeah,
Do you think it would be first?
I don't think it'll be for. I'm torn because I didn't think
Countdown?
Hustlers was going to take
Oh.
number 1, and it did. It overperformed.
Do you think that's because of STX?
I mean, if they're targeting their media blitz in the right way, I mean, it's an intriguing hook for
It
a
is.
movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is kind of cool. It's like, oh yeah, if you could find out a timer on your phone that would count down to when your death is going to be, it's an intriguing premise.
I know someone mentioned, hey, they had a lot of opportunities to actually make an app, but I'm like, I wouldn't have wanted to download that just in case.
No, I know. I
thank
never would have.
you.
Yep.
You're on no.
Because, sidebar for 1 second, I was getting multiple calls this week from myself. I would be like my
Is
own
it
number.
incomplete? The full number?
The full number. Yeah, it was me calling
As
myself.
if you would ever answer
Were there
that.
any voicemails?
There were no voicemails. And I was like, oh, I'm not even paying attention. But then finally I said, I should figure out what this is. And all it was just static on the other end. So I'm like,
Okay, that's kind of weird. That's like,
yes, that
you
was
need to
cool.
put that in your movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that reminds me of Scream and something else.
But see, then that made me think, like, what if I'm a time traveler from the future and I realized I need to get in touch with myself?
Yeah.
And then it's like, that jerk's not picking up. I got important information
How
to tell
would
him.
you know?
I think
What
I'd
if you-
text myself.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But
There
then
you
you'd
go.
be like, no, it's not really me.
There you
Hello.
go. If you got to text myself, that'd be cool. Anyway, my slight digression there. So, you're going to go with Mr. Maleficent is still his number one?
Yeah, then
Mr. Evil.
then Countdown, then Joker, Zombieland. I mean maybe Black and Blue. Maybe I haven't seen that many promotions for it, and the thing is
Yeah.
that it looks like an intense kind of film, and especially at the end, like closer to Halloween. I don't know if people really want to be in that space.
I think Zombieland will beat Joker.
You think it'll switch?
Yeah, because Zombieland's will be its second weekend. Joker's already been out for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And Zombieland, word of mouth, like people going, well, is it okay or not? So, yeah.
Yeah, Black and Blue's got Naomi Harris. It's got Frank Grillo. It's got Tyrese. Yeah, I don't know if those are people that are going to be like, yeah, I got to go see that film. So,
Or at least not right now of like, yes,
Yeah.
Halloween and
yeah, so I could.
such.
I guess I'll be because if you're Gemini Man, if Addams Family drops another 50, so that's $8 million. Could Black and Blue come above $8 million?
Roughly.
That's, I'm gonna say that it won't. That Addams Family will hold out.
Okay.
It's been over. Addams Family, I feel, has been an unexpected high performer, so I'm gonna go that will hold on at number 5. So I'll just put in Maleficent, Countdown, and then everything else drops.
Get it.
Yes, and then I'll just swap Joker and Zombieland.
All right. So, folks, the time has come now for the box office bet on the film that you, watching us there and chatting away in the chat, have voted on. And whichever film that the chat has decided on, we will make our bets what we think the opening weekend's box office total will be. Person closest will get to be like Amy and just bask in that sweet glow of victory. And then the loser will have to go see the film, much like I already did, and then tell everybody about it. All right. I call out to our constant source of information there in the chat, Ken Jack, if he is there.
I am looking very different. Let's see. Scrolling down because my internet froze.
Uh-oh.
Ken Jack has not put
Ken Jack in the chat. Tell us what
is
the
checking.
The answers are. Yeah, I feel. Do you guys plan on watching any special horror movies this weekend besides whatever's out?
It's sadly I always say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like watch some of the Friday the 13th or watch Halloween, and then things come up and I never. I have big ambitions that I never, more often than I could get to follow through on. Yeah, and you, Amy, I feel like you set that up because you have many things that you wanted to tell us.
No.
Oh wait, who's
Ken
going
Jack
to
says Countdown 1.
Oh, all
Countdown.
right. All right.
All right.
It is Countdown.
It's the final countdown.
All right. So 2,600 screens.
Second.
Yeah, so 2,600 screens for this
Wait,
fine
you said
film starring
second
Jordan
as well.
Calloway and
You said
others.
second.
Yeah, I said second.
I will go with. Oh man, I mean, I don't. Oh.
I just put a number and now I'm not sure.
Wait, is number 2?
Yeah.
All right, this is exciting. Exciting dialogue where they're just going to see us humming and hawing about
Right.
typing in numbers on here. Ooh, yeah, Amy, how you feeling about it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. Neither am I. Could go either way. Bree, how do you feel? You ready to go?
I have absolutely zero idea because I had not heard of this film until just this moment.
Oh, perfect.
I will throw a number out though. And
I love
hopefully
it.
It'll work.
This Bree says this, but really she knows what the deal is. She's just
Yeah,
she knows
she's
what's
fooling
up.
us.
She knows.
She's fooling us. All right, Bree, what do you got?
I'm gonna just go with 8.9.
Ooh, all right. A little lower than I was anticipating, but you never know what the people are going to feel like there at the theater this weekend. Amy is, reacted accordingly. She's put her head down.
I changed my number.
What? Wait, no,
Maybe?
no, no.
No.
Wait, no, you can't change after Bree said her number. Fine. You got to go back. It's locked in.
We're taking you down with us, Kari.
All right.
I said 17.
Oh, baby.
Boy,
All
yes,
right.
That's what
That was my second choice.
All right. Kari Lane,
21.
21. What were you going to change it to?
17.
17. All
Yeah.
right. And then I went with
13.
18.
Oh. Oh.
But thank goodness. Thank you, Kari Lane. But actually, I'm curious to see this film anyway, so I won't feel bad if I had to go see it. But I mean, it could be Kari seeing this, so who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Look how excited she.
Well, we'll
she
see.
is.
Yeah, because I haven't even heard of it. No trailers. So I'm like, is it going to even come to theaters by me? Well, I was excited because my theater had a trailer for Parasite, and I was like, oh, they're actually going to get it here?
Oh, nice.
Because, like,
I believe it's on 2,600 screens. It's one of the biggest openings of the weekend, so I feel like it's going to go. But folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. My, how time flies when we're talking movies.
boy.
As always, folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, however many thumbs up you got. And folks, thanks for hopping in the chat. We couldn't do the show without you. You make these great suggestions for us. Share your thoughts as well as bet on the films that we're going to choose to bet on for the box office bet. So, but if you're watching this after we stream live, Kari, what can they do?
Yes, you can comment down below. And I was going to say, what are your top 5 movies? We talked about our top 5. So what are your top 5? Horror,
Or 7.
And like very broadly, you can go at that. Yeah.
It's 5.
You can do 10.
Just 5. Just 5.
8,
But
17.
you can
It's
have
fine.
separate 5 lists. Top 5 monster, psychological.
Oh, that's how you blew it, Amy. That's how you blew it. Folks, if you want to stay in touch with any of us even after the show's over, Bree, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Bree, BRI_Phipps, PHIPPS on Twitter and Instagram.
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ. Watch Chucky, The Visit, and more.
I was about to say nailed it.
Ah!
So,
Not
no nailed it
No
for
nailed
you.
it.
Fine. I just wanted to throw in some more
Okay,
movies.
fine. All right, my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And I linked my review of Yami Shugai on that, so go check it out.
And Amy was talking Chucky 2019, so you
No,
know that's what she thought.
gosh.
Follow me on Twitter and
Get
Instagram,
out of
man.
here.
There we go, Jackie. Folks, see you next time.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.